Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, December 13th, 2024. As Drone Mania continues, my friends, holy cow. It's escalating, the incursion's happening, and you know what? There's no way to stop it at this point. Holy cow. All right, let me go ahead and jump into the studio, my friends, and get this thing going. Let's kind of take a look. Oh, gosh. Look at the audience, 736 people. How many participants? Oh, I can get through this pretty quick. Let's go ahead and say hi to our friends in the audience. I know I've got to stop this soon because there's so many people out there, but you know what? We're doing a good thing here. We're doing a good community service for everybody on that note. Let me go ahead and welcome in our audience. Who do we have out there? We have Alcino, Anne-Marie, Anton Ghost, Banana Booey's here, Billy Boo, along with Bob Tranquilly. Brandon's here along with Brains, Buster Larson, Calling Signs, Sussex just showed up. Good to see you along with Carl Joel Garrison, Serial Sushi, Christian Kern, Cindy Feelhaller, Corporal Abe, good to see you, my friend, along with Craig, Cypher, Commodore 64, Dan, Dolly, Duke, Dunsel 2025, Eli McGinnis, good to see you, my friend. Ernie's here along with Pink Floyd, Firefly, Frank Caffel. We got Frankenstein, Friar Guy. GD's here along with Green Tea with Lemon. And we've got Gray Hair Discoveries, Gray Jedi, GD, as well as Guitar Lessons with Sheldon. How about that? HTI is here along with Invisible Tracker, James Brown, James Matheson. Good to see you, James, again. Jason X, JCat, Jerry, JG, Joey Stoner, John Mooner, John Moskowitz. We got Johnny UFO, Kathy, Kelly Broughton, her piercing blue eyes. I see you, Kelly. Thanks for coming in tonight. We've got Clipper here. Is it Clipper or Kipper? Everything's going by so fast. We got Cody, Latro, Lid is around. Light it, my friend. We've got Little Schisms around. Little T, Liz W, Lord McCormick, Madness. Yes, it is sure madness, my friend. Let's go ahead and see Marvin the Martian. We got Mary Jane. Good to see you, Mary. There we go. Megan Betts. We got Merle Ray, Mia Luna, Menaupu. Mitzi's here. Mobius, 1966. My House. Nancy's here along with Neil, Nicholas, Niles Guy. We got Nowhere Fast, NVMe, Ever First, Forever First. All right. We got Ordained Doodle. How about that? Paladin of Ephesius is here. Good to see you, my friend. Panzer. Panzer Garden. Paul is here. We got Peggy and her South Florida friends. Say hi to Crockett and Tubbs and Steve. Pete's here along with PJ Larson, Preston Evans, Reward, Rafael Delago. We got Rainbow, also known as Jane Ramey's here. Ricardo, Rick, Doty is always a dear friend of ours. Rollins is here. Romulo V, Rude Panda, Rough Reddy. Ruth is around. Good to see you, Ruth. Sam's here. We got Scott Mello. See ya, or see you. Sino. Sharon Rose. Shelly Montgomery. Shinobi One Kenobi. Who else is out there? Slow Life. Sanjia Hicks. We got Sprightly Sprites, Gemstones, Crystal Mineral Magic. That's the longest name up there, so I gotta say it. Stacy Liang is here along with Standing Foot. We also have Stargazer 46 and 2 along with Stephen A. Oh God, Stephen Forbes, Steve Johnson, Steve Hines, Steve Skinner, Stevie Cakes. First person in the chat tonight. Good to see you, Stevie Cakes. All right, we got Steve-O, Tenbris, Terrence, Pterodactyl, That Unique, Tennessee. They got the Chromosome Cowboy, the Dashlin Master, the Mac Geek, Tia Loreno, Tim Tracy, Toxic Revengers in the chat, along with Trent Allgood, Trey Waylife Boy 91, Truth Biscuit, Two Head 666. We're getting near the end, folks. V's here along with Vern Dude. We got Wake Up Yourself, Waynos, Ryan's here along with Wazdig, Xavier. We got Yergi and Nebula Dust 1018. I made it. Record time. Not really, but close enough. On that note, it's that time of the night, friends, trying to get through it to go ahead and welcome in her back. Let's see who we have here. Well, the first person we've got is Corporal Abe. How's it going, Abe?
Pretty good. Happy holidays, everybody. Excited to dive into the plethora of information out there about these drones tonight.
Thank you for coming in today, Abe. In the back, we also have one of our regulars, Laura Campbell. How's it going, Laura?
It's going great, Thomas. Happy crazy holidays to everyone in the audience.
Oh, thank you very much. Love the festive colors, my dear friend. Red and white, and it almost decked out like Mrs. Claus there. I love it.
I am.
There we go. Also want to welcome our next friend in, Ms. Cussout. How's it going, Ms. Cussout? Sandra.
It's going really good this evening. I'm looking forward to the show.
Oh, so am I, my friend. So am I.
It'll be a good one.
Oh, I hope so. Also, if you turn the world upside down and shake it like a snow globe, who pops out of Australia? Well, it's none of your business, of course. How's it going, Susan?
Here I am. Yeah, look, it's going to be an exciting night tonight. It's really heating up, isn't it?
There we go, my dear friend. Also in the back, we've got our dear friend, FaZe Will. How's it going, Will?
Hey, Thomas. Good to see you.
Good to
Happy
see
Friday.
you. Good to see you as well. Rick Roberts, welcome, Rick.
Hey, doing great. Looking forward to tonight's show.
Thank you, my friend. Syrup, how's it pouring, my friend?
Going good, Thomas. Feel like there's just new news every day about these drones, man.
Absolutely. Tia Lorena, welcome, Tia.
Hi, Thomas.
Good to see
you. Happy for the show.
Thank
and
you very much.
there's a lot of drones out, even where I live now.
Oh, really?
So,
Tonight?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow. You have to take some
Cops are
pictures and
out.
send them to us.
Yeah, actually, I probably could.
Yeah, excellent. You always got to go outside and look up, and let's turn off that back music and welcome in our dear friend, Mike Disclosure. How's it going, Mike?
Oh, it's going well. Here we are at Drone Central tonight. We have a lot to discuss for our audience. This is going to be interesting. Plus, we have Rick with us. As,
speaking of
special
which,
guest.
Rick Doty, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Thomas, Mike, everyone. So far, what a unique time in our history. Here we are almost at Christmas time, and we have these unexplained drones flying not just over New Jersey or the United States. I read the foreign newspapers, and they're flying all over the world. India, Norway, Indian Ocean, Japan had some. This is quite amazing story, Thomas, and you're right on top of it.
Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, there seems to be stuff going on everywhere. I've heard a lot of reports going on in Germany and all over the world, Rick. It's something worth reporting on. There is so much interest from the audience out there. I am just taken aback by so many people who are interested in this, and it's an amazing sight to see, to say the least.
That's for sure. And there's been new developments, at least today, from some military sources, military and civilian sources that I wasn't the only one that was notified of this. Many other people have, and it's probably, I think it was mentioned on Twitter earlier. But here in New Mexico, we have the National Nuclear Security Administration located in Albuquerque on Kirtland Air Force Base. And we also have a unit called the 21st U.S. Army Ordnance Company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's unique about these two agencies, National Nuclear Security Administration is part of the Department of Energy. And within that agency is the Nuclear Emergency Support Team, or NEST. It used to be called Nuclear Emergency Search Team, but it's support team now. They deployed on December 6th and 7th to New Jersey. They deployed to Joint Base McGuire, Fort Dix. Also with them was the 21st Ordnance Company. Now, within the 21st Ordnance Company is a very unique unit called the Render Safe Team. The NEST team, they're responsible for finding any improvised nuclear devices. And once they find them, the team, the 21st Ordnance Team, and now that's a joint military team. It's made up of Army, Navy, and Air Force explosive ordnance disposal specialists, highly trained in diffusing improvised nuclear devices. They also deployed, and these teams are there for, we don't know why, but why would the Department of Energy send these teams to New Jersey? Did they find something, or are they searching for something? That's the big question right now.
You know, Rick, that lines up with one of the scenarios we're saying. It could be the United States, A, trying to get us into war with China. B, it could be the United States going out there searching for potential or some kind of nuclear material, maybe for a dirty bomb or something like that. Perhaps looking for some kind of chemical signature or biological signature from whatever could be on these drones. So kind of what you're leading to here, Mike, Rick, it sounds like from the people from you've been speaking with, lines up with the scenario that these drones could be potentially out there every single night trying to find a Christmas present or an inauguration present.
Exactly. And that's my feelings on it. Exactly. At myself and others, there's many other people that have commented on this. And another thing that I was told, I never knew this before, but another thing that was told to me today by a source within the government is that there have been photographs or pictures, even videos of these drones spraying something
right
in the skies. Now, what I was told this could possibly be, and I don't know this for a fact, but this is what he told me, is a special type of substance that will detect dormant radiation. As they spray it out, and then it spreads out, and then the drones come in and try to pick up the residue from radiation on the ground from this material. And I don't know what the spraying substance is, but obviously is some sort of new substance, or I've never heard of it before, but this person says that that's what the spraying effect is.
Wow. Interesting insights that I don't think you're hearing it here, folks. Hearing it here first. Rick, while that is some amazing information and insight, you know, we look at the situation, what's been evolving and where it could potentially go. You know, the drone situation isn't letting down. Now, granted, we don't have that fleet coming in like we had last night off the coast of New Jersey. We had one of our viewers out there today watching for it. And now some did come in and go across, but it has not been to the level like it was yesterday. But still, people are saying all over the place that, yeah, the drones are out, yes, once again.
Rick, do you know when DOE deployed out to McGuire in Jersey? How long ago?
Yeah, the December 6th and 7th. I'm not sure who went first or what unit went first, but they deployed on the December 6th and 7th.
Wow.
And we already have these drones coming out since November 18th, right, Thomas?
Yeah, that's when they started in lower numbers. It wasn't as big as it is now. It seems like there's been a ramp up going, Mike, and there's been more and more every night. I mean, there's reports of people, police officers going ahead and seeing 50 to 60 of these things coming in from the shore last night.
Right. When we started covering this over a month ago, it used to be a handful, 5, 6.
Almost a month ago. It's about 3 weeks this time because we started covering on November 18th, and we're about the 30th, 13th now.
Yeah. No, I know. But I'm just saying, yeah, it's definitely surging, ramping up, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on, it's increasing. It's not dissipating and going away.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I know people are saying Elizondo brought this up yesterday as a possibility. Yeah, but this is something we've been saying for weeks here. So it's great to hear Lou is getting out there, and should be coming here soon from what I've heard, Mike. So fingers crossed on that. Now before we get into a video I want to go ahead and bring up about the drone crash that happened last night. TVT, have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, I have a question.
I want to entertain the source of the bot in the early 90s that made a prediction of a supercomputer. It predicted the Joe Rogan, Donald Trump interview, and it also said that on the December 2nd that there would be an alien invasion. And this happened in the early 90s.
Yeah, but the alien, that was supposed to be December 3rd, but the alien invasion never happened.
Yeah, but we're kind of in the middle of it if you think about it.
We've had sightings going on the planet for a long time, and granted, there's been a ramp-up going. There was no major significant event on that date. So if you're looking for someone who's got a prediction, hold them to the specific date that they say in for there.
Yeah,
get there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's just an entertaining thought. So.
Yeah, thank you, TVT. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Getting into our first story we've got going in here. Let me go ahead and bring it up, talking about the crash that happened in New Jersey. I've got a story coming to us from our friends at Fox 5 in New Jersey. Let me go ahead and bring this one up, and here we go, folks. First video for the night.
A major response from authorities that could be related to an incident involving a drone. It is happening in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini is live from that scene. Stephanie, obviously so much frustration about what is even happening in the skies above us, so this might be a big answer.
Yeah, Bianca, I talked to several people who tell us they heard a drone crash somewhere behind where I'm standing. We're working to get that information confirmed with officials. Our chopper has been flying over the area this morning. Here's some video. We're showing you that view from above. We're in a shopping plaza in Hillsborough, just off Route 206. First responders have been here all morning, including Hillsborough police, a lot of onlookers. I talked to one woman who says her concerns are growing, calling all the recent drone activity very bizarre. She says she heard the drone crash happened overnight here, but she says that she's seen several, what she believes are drones anyway, flying around her home. She says she lives not too far from where we're live right now. Now, we've reported on these drone concerns in New Jersey. Some experts have said the sightings could very well be lawfully manned aircrafts today. We're hearing from officials on Staten Island about the same topic. Take a listen.
You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11, if you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it, because we saw it too. And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
So we've heard from the FBI, and the FBI says there's no reason to believe that these recent possible drone sightings pose a national security threat. Now, in terms of what we're getting from local officials, we're being told we're going to get an update this afternoon at some point, Bianca, in terms of what they've been looking at here. Back to you inside.
Yeah, it's so interesting because they say it poses no threat, but they can't tell you what it is. So many questions surrounding this, Stephanie.
Questions.
Yeah, we'll stay on top.
Yeah,
a major.
It seems like it's more questions than not. Mike, your thoughts?
Are you kidding me? She actually said that the FBI declared that this is not a national security threat. So you have unknown objects over restricted airspace at military bases all up and down the East Coast, and that's not considered to be a national security threat? Then what the hell is? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I know, Rick, with your intelligence background and stuff, it's been said from a lot of different people. Yes, this is a national security risk that we're dealing with at this point, more than a concern. What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. I think it is a national security issue. It should be addressed as such by the Pentagon and Department of Homeland Security. And it could very well be, but it's secretive. There are people that have hinted to us, our advanced working group, that there's a lot of people within the Pentagon that are burning the midnight candle, worried about these drones and what they're doing. Now, if they're ours, and some people are saying that they are the new petrodynamics. If you Google petrodynamics, they have the new XP 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, XP4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And if you look at those on their webpage, they really look, they could be very very much like the ones that are being seen over New Jersey and southern New York. But there's another interesting story, really interesting story, that police.com, and I think Mike knows what that website is. It's a police site. They report that a New Jersey state trooper, and they gave his unit number, his employee number. They gave his name. I'm not going to mention his name, but his unit number is 6 Delta 9. He's 2136, which I think is his man number. But he videotaped one landing just off a state highway. This is near Bridgeton, New Jersey, and I believe that's in the south.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
You know where it's at. Okay, exactly.
I know exactly where it's at. Yeah.
And when he filmed this, he went back to the office and to the barracks, and he downloaded it. But when he downloaded it, two FBI agents came in and took that video, because each trooper in Jersey has a camera in their vehicle and on their body, and they came in and downloaded that video and left with it, only telling the lieutenant, the shift commander, the watch commander, that they were taking it for national security issues.
Right.
Now, why would they do that? What if it, is it showing an alien craft or what?
No.
I thought that was extraordinary.
Yeah, it is absolutely, and it goes into this situation. Even if something potentially was found and that drone crash or wasn't found, I don't think they're going to be going ahead and telling us if something was found. Now, talking about a crash, I do have a breaking UFO news alert coming in. This is just in from Facebook. There's someone who just posted. I just got this sent to me seconds ago. Let me bring this one up here. We've got something that looks like a drone has crashed on the highway. There's someone who's passing it on an overpass. You can see both lanes of traffic are stopped, and bringing that in. That definitely looks like a drone, doesn't it, Rick?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That certainly does look like a drone.
Yeah.
A large drone, very large.
Well, about the size of an SUV, maybe a little bit bigger. That's been about the reported
Yes.
size that everyone was saying. No, and this is not the plane that crashed, I don't think. I think this is something else from that. We had coverage of the plane, and that plane was in two pieces right up by a bridge, and this is clearly not by a bridge.
And that was a Cessna in Westchester.
I don't think
New
that's a
York.
Cessna, because if you look at it, you got the back of the plane intact. You've got the ailerons on the back. I think that's what they're called. Going along, the overall shape of the craft is still intact.
Right. This looks like a drone, what we've been seeing overhead so far with those lights.
Yeah, and the one that had came down crashed into the bridge as it had came down. So this is a person who was on top of a bridge looking down at the overall scene. So you can see
are they shooting at these things?
No, there's no one shooting at anything. This is just something that's going on to where there is clearly, more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, so something's going on.
Yes, absolutely. Andy, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Rushed home from work to get here. So, yeah, this is a drone. These are purported to be drones. We are still unclear as to what they are, as the FBI say they are. There's very few manufacturers of large drones of this type. We knew last week one was purported to be the company that was flying this, yet we've got no information on any manufacturers or anything. So we're still in the dark over this.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows, with that image of that drone, if anybody's got any ideas what
and these drones don't look like regular drones. They actually look like planes from the bottom when they're flying overheads. Cessna crash, New Jersey.
No, not New Jersey, Westchester.
Okay.
For Cessna.
Well, you know what? It is. I was wrong.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Thank you, folks. The audience was right on that one, so I appreciate that, folks. Yeah. Dude, it's a plane, and I was wrong. So how about that? Let's move on to our next story we've got coming up now. Yeah, sometimes you get stuff that comes into you. The plane. Yes, Joseph Wilson and everyone else in the chat. You were right. I was wrong. But anyway, so in our next story coming up, it was on the headline. What we're going to be talking about next is that President Joe Biden isn't willing to shoot these things down. So let's have to see what John Kirby has to say about what's going on. Let me jump into the video and let's get this thing started. Here we go, folks.
Then what we watched it go all the way across the country, and we kept hearing, we're not really sure where it came from until we saw it popped and, floated down over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were very honest with the American.
Hold on. Let me start. I didn't start this in the beginning. I had it queued so I can see Kirby's wonderful face.
The White House National Security Communications Advisor and Assistant to the President. John, good to have you with us. What do you make of the reaction? A lot of people were unhappy with that comment that you made yesterday and felt like you were, telling people that they were nuts or that they didn't know what they were seeing with their own eyes.
No, not at all, Martha. That's the farthest thing that I would ever do. I was simply reiterating what the FBI and what the Department of Homeland Security have relayed to us about what they've been able to corroborate. And we haven't been able to corroborate everything. I said many of the corroborated sightings have turned out to be piloted aircraft. I didn't say all of them. And what I said was those are the ones we were able to corroborate. There's certainly ones that we have not been able to, and we don't know the answer to it. And I strongly recommend that for folks that are seeing these things and documenting them to share that as they can with the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's share it with you right now. Let's put up this photo. This is the close-up one. Here we go. This is in Bernardsville, New Jersey. So, John, are you able to see this photo?
No, ma'am.
You don't have a monitor there?
No, actually, I turned the monitor off. It distracts me, so I didn't see it.
All right. Well, you'll have to take a look at it after, but I can describe it to you. It is large. It has a white bar that goes through the middle. The right-hand side is half lit up white on the top and red on the bottom. The other side is green. So what would that... you're a former military person yourself. You're an admiral. You're the White House National Security Communications Advisor. I'm sure you have seen some of these images. So what is that we're looking at?
It's difficult for me to tell you, Martha. We don't really know. It is possible that some of these things could be commercial drones, developed for commerl purposes. It's possible that they could be owned by private citizens.
But why don't we know, John? That's the point. Why doesn't the United States government know? It seems silly. I mean, it feels a lot like the Chinese spy balloon. It was like, oh, we don't know. It's not a problem. Then we watched it go all the way across the country, and we kept hearing, we're not really sure where it came from until we saw it popped and, floated down over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were very honest with the American people that we knew it was Chinese and we knew that where it was going to go. And we were pretty comfortable given the analysis that there wasn't going to be an intelligence threat by it. And we shot it down once it was over safe waters and wasn't going to hurt anybody. But back to this. Why don't we know? I wish I could tell you exactly why we don't have an answer for you here in the afternoon on the 13th of December. But I can tell you that we are working on it very, very hard to know, because we want to answer those questions the same as those folks in New Jersey want answers to them. And we are working on this very, very hard. We are now applying. There was an interagency conversation this morning about this topic where we have now decided to employ some additional technology to New Jersey and some additional personnel to try to get a better sense of what these things are. And as I said yesterday, Martha, as soon as we know, we're going to...
I hear you. This is shocking. I got to tell you, this is shocking. Okay, and I'm not the only person who feels this way. This was happening at Langley a month ago, okay? These people are not crazy. They're seeing these things with their own eyes. This is not normal behavior. They are not planes that are coming in one direction and they're heading into Newark Airport and then they're landing, okay? We spend $824 billion on defense. We have the greatest intelligent capability in the world. So how can you stand there and say to the country right now, gosh darn, we just don't know what these are?
Because I'm not going to lie to you or to the American people, and I'm not going to say we know something when we don't. And we would never, ever stoop to think that an American citizen was crazy or nuts because of what they're seeing and what they're documenting. We're taking that imagery seriously, and we're doing the best we can to analyze it, and we encourage people to come forward if they have additional sightings and imagery. We want to do the best we can to triangulate it, but I'll be gosh darn.
I have to pause this for a second. Rick, it sounds like they're trying to rely just on the overall people to provide the imagery. What happened to all of our trillion-dollar military budget and all the equipment and all the spy stuff that we have and all the high-end night gear and being able to see stuff in multiple spectrums? Rick?
Radar, too.
Yeah, I was going to make that comment of all the military assets and sensors that we can deploy. You know what? He mentioned that they were bringing in other sources and resources. They don't have to do that. We have satellites. We have a number of satellites that can sense. They can track thousands of objects at a time from space, and they can determine the density of those objects. They can determine the frequencies those objects are using. They can determine the electronics inside those objects. So what he's saying now is just a bunch of baloney, something to satisfy or placate the American public that they're bringing in sources. Now, I just got an email from somebody who said, and this person would definitely know it because he's an Air Force pilot. They have deployed in the last 36 hours 5 F-16s and 4 F-22s to McGuire Air Force Base, which I believe, Mike will know it, in the central part of New Jersey. So that's something that they have brought in, but we should know what these things are from our satellites and our sensors.
Absolutely. And it looks like, I like there, Martha, I think it's Martha, she's really beating down hard on Kirby. And you know what? I like it. That's where it needs to be. There's a lot of questions out there. We'll hear in a minute that he's going to say the president isn't willing to shoot these things down. Well, on the other hand, there was a tweet earlier today from President Trump. Will get up a little bit saying, yeah, shoot the things down. So one way or the other, we'll get there.
I hope they do. Bring one down and look at it and have it analyzed. As if it's one of ours, if it's a deep red cell operation, then okay, we know what it is. But why are they doing it? Normally, red cell operations take 24 hours and then they're in and out. I mean, I've been involved in some of them, and it doesn't last more than maybe a couple days, but not more than that. And this has been going on for 3 weeks and a little over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, this is something else going on there.
Yeah, clearly the Biden administration continues to lie to the public about these drones, and it's just a situation where we just can't take what they're going to... I mean, doesn't he look so trustworthy, folks? I don't believe a word that he's saying right now, because, this is just basically... He's a spokesperson for the government, so he can't speak on his own. He's saying exactly what they want him to say. And if they want him to push back on stuff, he'll push and push hard.
But he's getting pushed himself right now by her. She's doing a great job.
Yeah. We're about halfway through this interview. Let me continue on with it. Here we go, folks.
If I'm going to stand up here and make up stuff that I don't know to be true.
We don't want you to make up anything. Do you know and you can't say? Can you tell me that?
No, I'm telling you, Martha, I'm telling you, we don't. We can't corroborate every single sighting. Some of them we have, not all of them, and we're working hard to do that. We know people are afraid of it. We know people have concerns. We have those same concerns.
Yeah, because they're flying over your house, and it sounds like there are motorcycles landing on your roof. Let me ask you this: one, person who watched this online said they think it's a Pterodynamics Transwing Drone XP4, which is being developed by the U.S. Navy as a recon and logistics drone capable of picking up and dropping off packages between land and moving ships in high seas and winds. They're suggesting it's an American company. We asked the company. They said we can't speculate on the origin of the drones that are flying over New Jersey. So is that an avenue that has been inspected? Is this a private company that is practicing something? And wouldn't they have to clear something with somebody to have this kind of activity?
It could very well be, as I said, these could be commercially developed drones of some kind.
Why not just take one down and figure out what's going on?
Well, the idea of taking something down, again, you want to worry about public safety. First of all, we don't have enough conclusions to take that kind of a policy action. But let's just...
Wait, hold on a second here, John. These drones are coming in from all over the ocean. every single night. So if we did want to take one down, we could easily do it without even risking anybody's harm. So we're hearing a lot of bullshit pushback, and they're, you know, well, there's excuses have excuses. So let me continue.
Assume for a minute, Martha, that we did. I mean, you're not going to want to shoot something down where it could hit somebody's house or hurt somebody.
Well, the Coast Guard says that there are 30 of them following one of their ships in the ocean. So would that work?
I mean, again, we have to develop the policy options based on what we know we're dealing with here, and we just don't know enough to make those to take those kinds of actions. But my goodness, we're going to do everything we can to find out, and we're going to share as much as we can. I understand it's frustrating for folks.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for us. We want to know as well.
What does President Biden say about it?
He also has tasked the team to look into this and to be energetic in doing it, to try to get answers.
Well, look into it. What about solving the problem?
He saw some of these images yesterday. He has talked to his team, including his top leaders, including at the Defense Department.
Have you called in like AI experts or said, like, why don't we ask Elon Musk what he thinks, or, you know, brought in outside experts?
We're working really hard right now inside in the interagency, and certainly supporting the FBI and DHS as they investigate this. And if we need to have additional conversations with people outside the lifelines, we certainly will do that. But I want to make sure I don't get ahead of the investigators and what they're doing.
It just seems weird. I mean, people, you know, they're low. They fly fairly low, some of these. It just, I think, is amazing that the White House has no idea what's going on. I think that makes people feel really unsettled. In New Jersey, they sent out an intelligence bulletin, I should say, issued in December of 2024 with recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. And it says a downed or landed drone should not be approached. It says, request hazardous materials response unit or local hazmat team. And then it says, request the nearest bomb squad. Do you agree with those recommendations if one of these things comes into someone's house or lands in their yard, or they have to deal with it?
Yeah, look, I haven't seen that directive, but all that makes perfect sense to me as a former military person. If something like an aircraft of any kind lands in your backyard or close to you or your family, call the authorities. Don't approach it. You don't know what it is, and you don't know what kind of fuel might be on board. You absolutely should just call the authorities. Make sure you report it. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. You don't want to get hurt.
Okay. One last question for you, and it's in another area. It's in the Middle East, where obviously, John, there is a lot going on. There's a new headline in the Wall Street.
All right, let's leave this one out of here as we get into more global politics and focus on it. Now, before we bring up our next video to go ahead and do it, I know, Corporal Abe, you have your hand up, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that Andy asked me a question earlier of what I thought about the Kirby speech here, and I served when he was serving. I was a bit embarrassed by this also and his original speech, but after some thinking about it, I believe that he doesn't really have a choice. He was reading off of his original statement that he was given. He's the White House press secretary, like I've been seeing in the comments. Some people have been saying he'll be thrown in jail, you know, if he doesn't follow orders. He's just following orders. He's a good sailor. But it is a bit upsetting to see the administration's position on this. But I do believe Kirby generally does care about the American people. And the reporter, I give her kudos for her hardball questions. I really, really do. But I do believe they had a relationship, and they were generally trying to get to notify the people that they don't know. They just simply don't know.
You know, and there's no reason why they shouldn't know at this point, Corporal Abe. This has been going on for 3 weeks to act like they've got no imagery. They have no way to look at it. They've got no way to try and figure out what this stuff is, to go ahead and say that we have to wait for pictures from the public to try and solve this. I mean, there's plenty of police personnel out there, emergency officials who are seeing this on a regular basis. Now,
why does the public have to do their job? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, if I could really quick, folks, one way you can help us and help us grow our channel, do us a favor, folks. We have 304 subs right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, we have 4,750 people watching the show right now. I think a majority of you haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying the updates, enjoying what we do here at Disclosure tonight, please hit that subscribe button. More importantly, if you haven't given us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, we'll take one or the other, folks. This is a great opportunity to go ahead and do that, as we're about to get into into our next piece here, folks. So let's get into that if we can. I personally thank you. It's my name on the channel, so I do what I can to give you the best news. And if I make mistakes when news is coming in, I apologize for that. I try to do the best job I possibly can. So to get back to that intelligence bulletin that was brought up and mentioned. Oh, where's that at? Document 3. Here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. TVT, have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, I have a question about the electromagnetic interference that they're receiving from possible encounters with these things. Is that something that has been talked about, and or does that technology even exist to anybody's understanding?
Yeah, there's many different kinds of technologies. If you want to go ahead, and if we could get through this piece first, and then we can go ahead and cover that piece. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do this. So, yes, they were talking about, yes, there is an intelligence bulletin that came out, and this has been, New Jersey officials have confirmed the authenticity and contents of this document. If we can, let's get into it. This is a recommendation for, come on, let's get there. Recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. Let me find the one. Here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Move this guy out of the way. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, overview. The New Jersey Division of Fire Safety has developed several guidelines when encountering downed unmanned aerial systems. UAS in collaboration with the New Jersey State Patrol and FBI Newark office. You know, safety recommendations. 1, downed or landed drones should not be approached, at least by citizens. Utilize Emergency Response Guidebook, Guide 111, to establish isolation and evacuation distances at least 330 feet in all directions. Initially, they're not playing around here, folks. Fire service members should utilize full PPE with SCBA when establishing the isolation and evacuation distances and not re-enter the zones once established. Number 4, notify local law enforcement and the FBI at 1-800-225-5324. Number 5, request the New Jersey State Patrol Hazardous Materials Response Unit and local hazmat team. Number 6, let's go ahead and the Hazardous Materials Response Team should approach the incident as unknown and follow established environmental monitoring procedures as such to include radiation monitoring. Number 7, request the nearest bomb squad. Number 8, be aware that electronic devices and two-way radio systems may malfunction in the immediate area. So there's the one piece TV was bringing up. So this is a law enforcement incident. Extinguish any fire and secure the perimeter. And final, suspicious activity with a possible nexus to terrorism, targeted violence, or other related activities should be reported immediately per existing protocols. Activity can also be reported 24/7 to the New Jersey OSHSP or CT Watch. Please feel free to contact your regional fire coordinator with any additional questions or concerns. So this one came out this morning. It sounds pretty serious to me. What are your thoughts, Mike? You lose Mike? Rick?
No, right here. I was just checking Q&A in the back chat. No, this is an intelligence report, obviously, that they're putting out, and they want, I believe that reporter read this to Admiral Kirby.
Well, she only read like 2 or 3 lines out of it, Mike.
Yeah, but his response was, "Oh, I haven't seen that report." So he's in the dark about even something like this, which is odd, right, Thomas?
Correct.
But, yeah, no, this is putting out a warning to first responders, which they have to, because you know the first responders are the ones on the ground, and if anything is going to go on with this, they need to be prepared. Yeah, they want them to be safe because obviously they don't know if there's hazardous materials, if there are nuclear components to this, biological. It's giving them a heads up that they need to have a perimeter. I believe one of the points was 330 feet in each direction.
Yes, sir.
Right. So they want to make sure they keep everybody as far away as possible. That's a big perimeter.
Yeah, it is.
So that tells me that Kirby is saying there's no threat. This intelligence report is telling me that there most definitely could be a threat with this, without a doubt. They're worried about it because they don't know what it is, and it could be very dangerous. So that's another reason I think he didn't want to touch this hot potato with a 10-foot pole. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, I would say so. He's trying to stay away from this and distance the president and the executive branch from any culpability for what's been going on. More importantly, what has not been going on.
Exactly. They're trying to cover their ass.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good. So hopefully, eventually, one of these craft will come down, and maybe the public will have access to it. If we get information on this, we're not going to rely on the government. We're going to see for ourselves what these objects are. You know, you've said this countless times on the show before. Even as far as these drones are concerned right now, it really doesn't matter who made them, what brand model they are. The most important thing is, why are they here and what the hell are they doing?
Exactly.
That's what everybody wants to know, right? That's really what we need to know.
It's not just citizens who want to know. In our next story I'm bringing up, Mike, New Jersey Assemblyman says state has seen drones for 4 weeks. It's a decent story coming to us from our friends over at News Nation. Let me get this one up and let me start it. And here we go, folks.
While drone fever is spreading across the country, New Jersey remains the epicenter. So joining us now is New Jersey Assemblyman Michael. Michael, I'm going to get it right. I'm not going to get it wrong. Michael Ignanamort, is that right?
It's Inganamort, Chris.
Inganamort. Mike Inganamort, Assemblyman, I'm sorry for butchering your last name, and I won't do it again. You're also the former mayor of Chester Township. Thank you for coming on the Hill. You have your own firsthand experience to share. Describe what you've seen.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Well, listen, I mean, this has become a nightly spectacle for myself, for my family, and the 250,000 New Jerseyans I represent in the northwest corner of the state. And sure enough, when I came into my office tonight, there were 3 drones zipping around our neighborhood and above this office building. As I walked in, I expect to see several on my way out. And what Rich described seeing just last night, we began seeing here in Chester and western Morris County, which I believe has been the epicenter of this invasion for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks. I got my first call from a concerned mayor and police chief on November 18th. Since then, we have been elevating these concerns to state leaders, to the federal government, and we know about as much today as we did 4 weeks ago, which is nothing.
Well, it seems like, anyway, that federal authorities say that they're confident they're not hostile foreign, that they don't come from China like the spy balloon did, and these don't constitute a threat from a hostile foreign power. Do you have any reason to doubt that that's not true?
Well, I don't take a lot of comfort in it, frankly, Chris, because I think about what John Kirby said just yesterday when he said that in many cases these were not drones, they were in fact airplanes. That specifically and clearly contradicted the confirmation we have from Picatinny Arsenal, which is one of the larger military bases, certainly in New Jersey. It's the facility where they make all the ammunition for America's military. Picatinny Arsenal has confirmed the presence of these drones night after night after night, directly contradicting what John Kirby said yesterday. So no, I do not take any comfort in what they are saying at the federal level, because not only have they been unable to answer any of our questions, they have been unable, as far as I am aware, and unwilling to take any action. I think we are past the point, clearly, of getting answers to our questions. We've asked for 4 weeks and have gotten no answers. I think it's time to take action and to authorize, specifically, have the FAA authorize the New Jersey State Police, the Air National Guard, and the Air Force, if necessary, to start taking these drones down in a safe and secure way so that we can identify them, see where they're coming from, and where they're going to.
That's what the president-elect is calling for, mystery drone sightings all over the country. He posted on social media, can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so, exclamation point. Let the public know, and now otherwise.
There you go. There's a statement from Donald Trump saying, how can our government can they not know, if we need to the government should shoot these things down. It's something that was put to John Kirby, representative of the Biden administration, a minute ago. They're just still trying to get their bearings on something that's been going on for weeks.
Shot them down. Do you think that it should private citizens be shooting these down, or does this need a engaged government response?
So talking about that really quick, I have another video in here of someone called the drone hunter. Don't shoot at the drones. It's against the law. While you may want to go ahead and take them out, good luck in getting there, but it's not a good thing to do. Let me continue.
This needs engagement from the federal level. I appreciate the president-elect weighing in, but we still have about a month left of the Biden administration, and I think that President Biden and the Biden administration are overdue to show leadership here, to show some creativity, to show some, proactive leadership in controlling the situation and taking these drones down in a safe and secure way. That does not necessarily have to be New Jersey residents. I think this is the work of the state police, the Air National Guard, or the Air Force. And we're looking to President Biden to get that done.
Once you learn his name, once you say Mike Inganamort, you will never forget it. Assemblyman, we thank you for your time today.
Yeah, interesting situation to see, what's going on. Clearly people in the state of New Jersey are fed up with the situation, and this incursion, this invasion, as it's been called many, many times, is not coming to a close. Mike, your thoughts before we get to our hands up here.
Well, listen, Thomas, you and I have been telling the audience the entire time we've been covering this live.
Yeah.
If the government is not going to provide answers, and they obviously seem to be covering this up to a large degree, the citizens who are really worried about this for good reason are going to take matters into their own hands. That's just simple human nature.
Yeah.
They're going to be trying to shoot these things and take them down. And we've been warning our audience that it's dangerous to do that and illegal. But people are going to get fed up and afraid, and the video you just played, we're going to see more instances like this happening as time goes on.
Yeah, it's definitely going, maybe he's trying to get there. It looks like he's trying to lead it, and this is just a 5-second looping clip we have of this. But Mike, people are getting fed up with this, and clearly if the government isn't doing steps, I think Tim Burchett from Tennessee had already said that if the government doesn't do something, that if this was down over his area, they wouldn't be in the air that long, would they?
No, absolutely not. And whoever this individual is, it sounds to me like they're using a .22 caliber, which is a pea shooter and isn't going to make a dent in that object. Plus, he's missing. So obviously, if you watch the tracer rounds, he's completely off the target.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah.
If we can, Andy, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, I'm getting Three Wise Monkeys vibes from the U.S. government with everything that's been going on. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. It just beggars belief, that we don't know what these things are. We got no idea. Somebody comes in and no, they're this, and then the FBI, counter back. We don't know what they are. Really, can they not track these things? Can they not triangulate them? It just beggars belief. It really does.
Yeah,
no, you're right, Andy. Yeah,
it does absolutely, Andy. Military intelligence; those two words don't together, and government trust don't go together. I think what is it we at today, Mike? Less than 20% of the American people trust the government these days.
Well, I'm sure now with what's been going on with this invasion that we've been dealing with without any real answers, I'm sure that those numbers are plummeting right into the toilet, Thomas.
Yeah.
They're not instilling any type of faith in our government, and no one is feeling safe and not protected with what our taxpayers, all the money that we pay in is supposed to provide protection. We're not seeing it. We're not hearing it.
No, it should be giving us protection, but clearly something's amiss. Something is greatly amiss. Ali, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, interesting, guys. As a Swede or as a citizen as well in the West there, I'm really baffled by the lack of leadership, the lack of organization, the lack of effort. I wonder, now it's been going on me the last thing here just for a month. Why are they still allowing drones to fly? Why don't the FAA shut the airspace in this area down?
Well, Ollie, one thing, if I could add to that really quick, for drones, at least commercial drones, for what's out there and for what people can have, there is a limit on 400 feet. And these are, in some cases, they're down low. Some cases, they're well over that. You know, they're violating airspace.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're right, Thomas.
Yeah, of course. But if we're talking about leadership, if you're sitting in Pentagon or in the government, well, then you have to make exceptions. From now on and for at least 48 hours, let's say that, you're forbidden to use drones in this area. And then by that, then you will know who is still operating drones. At least they are committing a crime.
Yeah.
Or going against the regulations.
Yeah.
And you can go from there. The next step is that, okay, if we see you tomorrow or at the special event, well, then we have the right to shoot you down.
Yeah.
You have to have that kind of authority to do that. You know, I think it's tragic. I don't know if to laugh or cry when I watch this and I listen to Kirby and the blah, 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 blah that they're talking about.
You know, we need to go ahead and hold our government accountable, Ollie, for not taking care of this. But then again, you never know. These drones could have already been pardoned by the president. We don't know about it yet.
Well, that's maybe the secret behind this.
Exactly.
But also, and why the journalists? Why don't they ask them? You have all kinds of sensors, don't you? When you're talking about corroborating evidence, well, you have lasers. You have opticals.
Yeah.
You have radar. You have FLIR equipment.
We have plenty of things in our arsenal to go ahead and figure out what these things are. So yeah, I agree that. But out of all the people who've been talking so far to Washington, Martha McCallum, we had on there before, she really brought it home good. Thanks for your comments and question, Ali. If I could go to our next person,
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is a beautiful program you got going. I'm barely subscribed today. But with that being said, I'm personally a hobbyist myself, and these things are up for a very long time. There is absolutely no way these things are going to be up there that long unless they are nuclear powered. So if they do crash, one thing to keep in mind is to approach it cautiously. Maybe try to identify the power source. If you can see a battery, maybe it's okay. But if you see something that does not look familiar, maybe keep your distance.
Keep your distance away from it is the safest thing to do. And possibly what we're looking at on these things, you never know what it could be. But, you know, they're up for 5 to 6 hours. They could be fuel cell based. There's a lot of different options. Nuclear, maybe, maybe not. But, you know, so this is a really great video that I've got up right now. One of the best ones that I've seen going ahead and tracking these. If we could, I've got another, before we get on to more questions, I've got another video clip in here talking about, well, the drone sightings aren't just happening on the East Coast. They're actually happening coast to coast. At least that's what's coming from Banfield on News Nation. Let me go ahead and get this next video up here for everybody, and let's get going with it, folks. Here we go.
Former Governor Larry Hogan shot this video last night. These lights over his hometown in Davidsonville, just 25 miles from the nation's capital, as he pointed out. And then there's this.
I've never seen that. Wow, they just passed each other. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
New Jersey Senator Andy Kim shared this video of drones he shot yesterday. Federal authorities insist most of these sightings are actually legally manned aircraft. But Senator Kim says he checked a flight tracker app while capturing this video and that the devices he was capturing were not on it. The sightings are happening near LaGuardia Airport, too. Officials say they received unconfirmed reports of drone activity over that busy airport. As for numbers, the FBI says it's received more than 3,000 tips from the public about drone sightings going back to November 18th, all over New Jersey. Since then, there's been an average of 92 sightings per night and expanding across half a dozen states. In a joint statement, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security said, quote, "We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat, or that they have a foreign nexus." Lawmakers, however, aren't buying it and are pushing for answers and action. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and 2 other senators wrote a letter calling for a briefing with the FBI and Homeland Security. Well, in Connecticut, Senator Richard Blumenthal says the devices should be shot down if they can't be identified. And we've learned that House Speaker Mike Johnson did get a federal briefing on the sightings, as have Senate staffers in a few select offices. But other than that, there's been very little transparency. So what's going on? Is this some contagious mass hysteria? Or are people really seeing something that our government cannot identify? Our own Rich McHugh went out drone hunting in New Jersey. He did not come back empty-handed. Rich, tell us what you saw.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat, and then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow. In more than a month since these reports started, the federal government doesn't know what they are either.
What's your message to the White House?
My message: come to the Jersey Shore. I know it's wintertime, but come see what we see, and then, maybe have a better appreciation for why our residents are concerned.
The Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial-grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, to me, if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need the answers, frankly.
All right, Rich McHugh. Thanks so much for watching. Go to join.
Holy cow, Rick, my friend. Very interesting. So 40 to 50 of these were spotted by the police. Not only that, they're not putting out any heat signature whatsoever. Your thoughts on that?
Well, if there are, depending on what the propulsion system is, would determine the amount of heat it would put out. Now, if it's totally electric, some sort of an electric type of drone, which there are some that are made, you get battery powered. The one I have here is I have a battery powered one, but it's small. and something that large that can stay up in the air for 10 hours, it would have to have an enormous size electric battery that wouldn't give off any heat signature. But
don't even batteries heat up when they're dispersing electricity. So even though if it's battery powered, that's going to be one heck of a battery if they're going for 5 to 6 hours of flight time.
True. That's the question. How are they being charged, and how they can stay so long in the sky if it's a drone, or they're flying some sort of an exotic propulsion system that we just don't know what it is. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even all the systems in the drone, even the computers in there would warm up after a period of time for what's going on. So, you know, it's just not adding up. So definitely we're looking at not just craft that are out there for a long time. Clearly, oh, look at that. We've got a drone flying over Wilson. Are you in the New Jersey area?
No, I'm in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and they've been flying around my house for like the past 4 hours. And what's really strange about them is that I recorded look, there's another one over here. I recorded like 5 or 6 different videos, and they all appear to be very different. Some are flying a lot higher than others. Like there's another one over there, flying a lot higher than others. Some have different pattern lights. And it's starting to freak people out over here in Pennsylvania. There's so many, and they're so loud. They have this ominous humming that's coming from them. Look, there's another one up there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's like very high.
Now, don't forget there is regular air traffic out there on a regular basis.
Yes.
But some of these that are out there, there's a lot more than you're used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's strange about the drones is that you can hear them before you see them. So in the house, we can hear the ominous humming, and then we come outside and they're flying right over the house. I took a bunch of like very close-up videos because earlier tonight they were a lot lower. Is there a way I can send them to you so you can show anybody, or?
Yeah, there's an email, ThomasFesslerChannel@gmail.com. You can go ahead and send that to that account, or you can go to a place called WeTransfer where you could zip them up into a giant zip file, send it for WeTransfer, and then send me that link and I can download them all.
Okay, so I'm going to send it to your email right now. I'm going to get off. There's 5 different videos. 3 of them are completely different shapes, and they're like, I got them pretty close. So I'm going to send them to you now. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. Thanks for sharing.
You might be able to load them to the group chat.
No, you can't.
There's a group chat here?
No,
Okay,
you can't get them on the group chat. Please listen to what I asked, and that'll be the best way to get it here.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to send them now.
Thank you, sir. Faze, Will, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, this is definitely man-made shit. Is this I feel like this is sort of a PSYOP created by the government, trying to create it by the government to create new laws for our airspace. I created a new law for our airspace.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, clearly something's going on. The government is saying we don't see anything, we don't hear anything, and we're not going to speak anything about it. So if they are that stupid as they play as, we're really in trouble. That maybe
Thomas,
they're just covering it up for
that's
something that's going on.
Yeah, Thomas, you and I know that sometimes the governments are bullshit artists. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Where's that? I have a sound effect for that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that one. But Thomas, let me make a point real quick to our audience. We have in excess of 4,000 people watching us right now, but only 1,000 likes. People, if you're enjoying the coverage live of this drone incursion, please like and subscribe on the channel. The cost is free, and we give you a double your money back guarantee.
Exactly,
so,
Mike.
There you go.
No harm, no foul.
That's it.
Yeah.
You want to stay informed, we're on every night covering this.
Absolutely. Justin M., you have your hand up, my friend.
Hey guys, just want to say real quick, Tom, Mike, once again, top tier coverage, excellent. Couple comments. So, is it the corporal might be able to answer this too? Like, if they were gasoline powered, could they really loiter for 5 to 6 hours like that?
It would have to have a large fuel tank, and it
Yeah, I
would give
agree
off
with that,
heat.
Beverage.
It would be giving off heat if it was combustion powered, right, Abe?
You'd need a large fuel tank, and you'd see some type of combustion powered, and the exhaust would be a certain type of color as well.
And they'd be able to see the
so
heat.
they're not fuel powered.
No, they're not like gasoline or kerosene or even stuff
Natural
like
gas.
Yeah.
So then that leads me to the logical conclusion, like what other organization could have like that sort of power source other than like the US government or one of our, whatever, like dark project companies, third party company that they can say it's not ours.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say it's not from a military contractor. The only people who would be operating this kind of stuff would be the United States government. It's either a United States government or it's some other foreign entity. Because think about this: you have 50 of these craft coming in from off the ocean. They have to be stored somewhere. They have to be fueled, right? Whatever they're using. They have to launch them one after the other. They have to send them on their pre-programmed courses for whatever's going to happen. Then those drones have to come back and land, and then they have to repeat that day in and day out. That's a major operation that's going on.
I agree with Thomas.
So last thing then,
a state actor or multiple state actors or UFOs.
Do you think this could be they're wargaming with the police to see if the police can detect them? Because I mean, the government does not seem like they're worried about this, and you'd think that's one of them would crack if it was a serious threat. You know?
Justin, the U.S. government hasn't been worried about UFOs and been making excuses about it, saying it's not a risk, it's not a threat.
Excellent
which clearly
point.
it is.
Excellent point.
It's coming from the
That's
same
true.
people who are saying UFOs aren't a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Exactly. Now Rick Roberts is popping up, and I kind of know why. Rick, how you doing, my friend?
Good. So two things. I wanted to mention to Justin's question. They could be a hybrid, just like a diesel electric sub back in the time was stealth, because when they had to go stealth, they'd put on the electric. So these drones, there are drones that are out there that can fly for 18 hours. I posted links yesterday, and they are hybrids of a gas and electric, where it could shut the gas engine off and run electric.
But they'd be putting out heat. They'd have heated exhaust. They'd be picked up by the infrared.
But just like stealth, though, you could do a stealth, just like a stealth jet has ways to hide its heat signature, so can you do with the drones. And yes, I was asking for a poll. Do we think the government knows what's going on?
I've already got the poll put together. People are already answering it. I'm doing the same one you've asked for the last 3 nights. Which ones is that? All right, drone invasion. Is it human-based? Is it ET or non-human intelligence-based? Hey, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
All right, this is your opportunity, folks, to go ahead and vote and tell us what you think it is. Would you look at that with 350 votes almost in already? We're at a 50-50 split between human-based or ET-based. Interesting how that's going. Let's see how far we can get this in the next 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's always great to see where our audience was. Last night, they were a little bit more ET-based. Tonight, it just seems like they are our audience is split 50-50. 51-49 with only 57 seconds left. Matt, what would you vote on this? Would you say human-based or ET-based?
I would say human.
Human. Corporal A, what do you say?
I'm split, both.
Yep. None of your business. What do you say?
I'd say ETs.
Yeah. Mike, and what do you say?
Oh, obviously human-made, because the person that just came on the show told us they heard the drone above head. If it was ET, we wouldn't hear a word. Not a sound.
There's completely silent and everything. So with just 15 seconds left, looks like our audience is split, but human-based is edging out the ET-based. In just 7 seconds, this will be over. Let's see if it can get tied up. Nope, human-based is taking off to finish this off. So let me go ahead and do a print screen of that, and there we go. Interesting to say the least. Now, I do have another video coming up to talk about UFO or drone. Fear grows over mysterious aircrafts in New Jersey, and it's not just in New Jersey, it's in Pennsylvania tonight. It's also been seen in Connecticut and other areas. So whatever's going on, there's clearly an escalation happening at this point. Let me go ahead and turn off that wonderful sound effect in the background. If you hear that going on, folks, you know we've got a survey going. Let's go ahead and get this next clip coming to us again from Fox 5 with Steve Lacy. Here we go.
Speculation and concern about who or what is behind those drones in New Jersey continues to grow. It has some people living in fear, with civilians and even some lawmakers wondering if a hostile foreign government is behind the flying objects. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo joins us live from Summit, New Jersey tonight with the very latest. Teresa.
Yeah, see, this debate here has been something of a great unifier in New Jersey. Just tonight, I've heard from people in Montville, Verona, as well as here in Summit. And while this time of year, we normally look up trying to catch a glimpse of Santa, tonight, it's not him. At least we don't think it is. No! The latest sighting in New Jersey happening high over the skies of Summit, New Jersey. Some call them drones. Others question if it's foreign adversaries spying on us. The Pentagon says it's fixed-wing aircraft.
We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
It doesn't matter where you go in New Jersey, people are talking about whatever is floating high above us. And some, including our federal lawmakers, aren't totally convinced it's a friendly eye in the sky.
I've been a little frustrated. There hasn't been enough transparency, letting people know what's happening. It's allowing a lot of potentially misinformation to spread, or at least fear.
Senator Cory Booker joins forces with New York lawmakers to demand transparency from the FAA, the FBI, and Homeland Security, feelings that are echoed by New Jersey's Attorney General.
The feds need to help. This is clearly a federal issue. They need to step in and help.
If you're keeping score, the Pentagon says it's not us and it's not a foreign adversary, and they're not all drones. There's no legitimate evidence the sightings are otherworldly. So what are they? Bill Daley is a former FBI agent.
Well, I think we all kind of sometimes think that could be the cover story, that it is actually a kind of a black op run either by the military or being run by a military contractor. However, I also would say is that given now the notoriety and now all eyes are up in the sky looking for these things, is that if you were running one of these operations, whether it was kind of a beta test of some new technology or equipment, you would think they would have kind of receded from that and said, you know, it's too hot, too many people are on this, too many questions being answered. I think we're going to pause on this.
Now, the FAA started reporting sightings here in New Jersey in mid-November. And some say these devices are as big as a bicycle in the sky or even a small car. Steve, we also want to mention, we heard from friends in Westchester tonight. They're seeing drones as well. So at least around these parts, whatever this is, people just want answers. That's the latest from Summit tonight. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense to me. All right. Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah. The mystery of
speculation and concern about who or
the mystery
what
of these drones continues, and trying to figure out what they are. It seems there's one answer after another coming in, no clear direction of what this could possibly be. I'm liking the theory that we've talked about earlier this week, that Rick came out earlier tonight and talked about, that they could be ours, but they're potentially also going and looking for some kind of a dirty bomb that's been put out there. Now, there is a question in the chat with regards to, is there anything going on in Canada tonight? Well, how about that? Yes, I have a breaking story that just was sent to me and handed to me to go ahead and show. Let me go ahead and bring up a story coming from Global News in Canada to go ahead and talk about this. Here we go. Let me get to this. Here we go.
It wasn't the birthday surprise Josh Fall was expecting.
I looked out into the horizon and I saw about 6 or 7 orbs, I guess, and they were moving around in formation. They were disappearing. They were reappearing at times.
He was treated to a light show courtesy of these unidentified objects in the sky late Thursday night.
It looked peculiar. It was more bright than an ordinary star, and then it was moving, and then I thought that was a little bit weird. It wasn't flashing like a plane or anything like that.
After Fall saw the lights for himself, he showed his family to make sure there were other eyewitnesses. says.
I really wanted to make sure my family also saw what I was seeing. Like, I wasn't just seeing things. So my mom saw them as well, my dad, my brother, and my sister.
But it wasn't just the Fall family that caught the lights in action. Several people reached out to Global News saying they witnessed the strange occurrence as well, including Evan Ginsberg.
I've never seen anything quite like this. It was incredibly bright. The objects were sort of dancing around at times as well. It was a privilege to see this. It was really interesting, and it was sort of, I was awestruck by it almost in a way.
According to one astrophysicist at Queen's University, there could be multiple explanations as to what the unidentified light show was, but it might not be the extraterrestrial answer many were hoping for.
I think there are enough normal things right now that we can use to explain this, especially being the combination of satellites and meteor shower. I don't think this is something we should be super alarmed about it as of right now.
So with potential answers up in the air, the truth is out there somewhere.
There you go. So it's not just happening in the United States, folks. Rick, as you were talking about earlier in the show today, you were getting reports from all over the world. Is Rick? Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No
I
problem.
apologize.
Sorry to call on you in the blue there, out of the blue there. Sorry about that.
That's right. I'm sorry. I didn't get your question. What was the question?
So yeah, they're talking about sightings going on in Canada, and all these sound more like extraterrestrial sightings going on potentially than drones. But yeah, there are sightings happening worldwide right now. What are all the countries you're aware of that they've been seeing these drone type incursions besides the United States and Canada? I've heard it's throughout Europe.
Yeah, northern Norway, eastern Germany, the old East Germany. There were a number of large group sightings of drones. India, northern India, right near the border of Tibet. I mean, not Tibet, Nepal.
Right.
Now, the peculiar things about that sighting, those sightings, were that these things that were sighted did not have any type of international aircraft lights. They were tracked or watched flying in circles and making different types of maneuvering and coming all the way down to the ground, but they didn't have the lighting system that international aircrafts would have. So, there possibly could be ET. There was a ship in the Indian Ocean that watched some drones come out of the water and fly around the ship and then go back into the water. That was on December 2nd.
Right.
And it was reported. I don't know. That would be commercial. That would be probably extraterrestrial.
Yeah. Now, there was an audio. Go ahead. No, continue, my friend. I'm sorry.
There's a combination of different sightings, and I think some of them could actually be extraterrestrial in nature, and others being human-made.
Yeah, if I can get to it really quick, I know I should have downloaded this one. I've got a clip from last night. It's an abbreviated version. Oh, there's another good one. All right, this is a story that was in the news last night. Now, there is a pilot who was in Oregon at the time communicating with traffic control in Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and they had seen... Who was in Oregon at the time communicating with traffic control. You've got someone who came in the back who Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Please mute yourself. Thank you, Micaiah. There we go. All right. All right, let's get on to this one here. I just downloaded the video. Sorry about that. When people join the back and they have the show going, let me get this video up here. Okay, so Rick, as I was saying, there was a sighting that was in, I believe it was in Oregon. There were pilots from two different planes that had seen craft coming towards their plane, shooting out to the ocean at speeds that they've never seen before, coming back again, shooting from 30,000 feet up to 50,000 feet in back. So let me bring up the news story on this one. Have you heard about this one, Rick?
Yes, I did hear about that. I listened to that that report.
Yeah, this is one of the stories. It's a news story. I'll see if I can find the full episode, the full video to play. Here we go.
Red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast it's moving.
You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
This is Joe communicating with air traffic control while he was piloting that live flight call to the North Bend, Coos Bay area. And the UFO in question, if you look closely on your screen, that little red dot that floats in and out of the video.
That was the one that was at our altitude that would come up to us and sit for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then it would go back out over the ocean, over the horizon.
He and his crew witnessed this mysterious object continue this odd behavior from more than 20 miles away for about 20 minutes total. This came after a United Airlines flight reported seeing similar mysterious objects zipping through the sky, ranging between 30,000 and 50,000 feet in altitude.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. Yeah, they're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
One researcher suggests it's a light bouncing off a Starlink satellite over the Pacific Ocean, catching the eye of pilots, something that's reportedly happened before. But Joe says this ain't that.
I don't think Starlink, like I said, satellites don't typically change directions. But then again, I could be wrong, but I honestly don't think it was. I've never seen a satellite move like that.
I reached out to the Federal Aviation Administration to see if they can confirm this UFO sighting. They kept it short and sweet, saying a pilot saw unidentified lights. The good news is it's not believed Joe...
Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I just closed down the wrong frickin' video, folks. I was getting things ready. Let me get that back up again. My fault. I screwed up. Here we go. I made a mistake. I'm not perfect. Here we go. Bring it back again. Sorry about that. I was prepping the next video for everybody.
But then again, I could be wrong, but I honestly don't think it was. I've never seen a satellite move like that.
I reached out to the Federal Aviation Administration to see if they can confirm this UFO sighting. They kept it short and sweet, saying a pilot saw unidentified lights. The good news is it's not believed Joe or his crew were in any danger as they continued to fly down to Coos Bay and back up to their station in Aurora. But the mysterious object popped up on his traffic collision avoidance system. He says that's not something that a light reflection can do.
TCAS works off a transponder code. So for something to register, it was registering like an aircraft. So the weird thing is we were seeing it as an aircraft inside the aircraft, but ATC wasn't showing it on their radar.
Whatever it was, Joe and many others hope they can get clear answers. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Aaron Ariano.
There you go, my friends. There's things out there we can't explain now. We do have another interesting video that, while someone was out recording drones, you can see one. They've got one on the screen here. This is going to be a little hard to see. I'll do what I can do to zoom it in. He's the photographer who was videotaping this started seeing something different, and he put his attention to it. And this is just something to where you have to say, what the heck is this? So you've got like three or four little bands down here, the lower left-hand corner in the screen. He sees them moving, starts putting his camera after it. As you can see, the stars are going and pulling out in length. That means he's going and moving at a faster rate. You'll see that go on with lights, but these lights, he's pretty much keeping with it. We've got 3 of these objects, whatever they are, at this point in the screen. And then we've got another one down over here that's in complete lockstep with the other objects. And as it moves along and as they continue to record it, you can see that object gets closer and closer and then comes in, joins along with that particular string of objects as he's trying to keep it in sight as it goes across the sky. Now, again, this was recorded near Barnegat Lighthouse just, I believe, last night. Your thoughts on this one, Mike?
It's incredible, but I also have an update. We have breaking drone news right now.
Yeah.
It seems that at Naval Weapons Station Earl in Monmouth County, New Jersey, has these drones invading its airspace right now.
Really?
Yeah. Naval Weapons Station Earl is known for having a distinguishing 2.1-mile pier in Sandy Hook Bay, where ammunition can be loaded and unloaded from warships at a safe distance from heavily populated areas. So it's on the Jersey shore, and these drones now are swarming this naval weapons station right now, and nothing is being done to deal with this.
So
It's
much for John Kirby
amazing.
saying none of these things are being seen over our military bases, which we know is a lie.
Well, we know it's a lie because we've been covering consistently that these drones have been all over Air Force Base, McGuire Air Force Base, which is joint base with Fort Dix. As Corporal Abe knows, he's familiar with Fort Dix. So, yeah, these things are all over our military bases, over restricted airspace, and nothing is being done to prevent or stop it. And he is claiming it's not a national security threat? Of course it is.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. They're operating with impunity over our restricted spaces. It's a farce that they're trying to convince the public that nothing is going on. We're imagining this.
It's the same excuse they use, Mike, for UFOs all the time.
I know, but it's a little insulting when they're literally pissing on us and telling us it's raining. How do you not get offended at that?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of politicians who are upset, there's a lot of people in the public, there's a lot of confusion going on. It's just a sad situation that just keeps on evolving every single day, and it doesn't seem like it's coming to an end.
No, it also seems like it's increasing, which is what we're covering here tonight.
Yeah.
There's a surge. And now we have this new incursion over Naval Weapons Station Earl in New Jersey. It's not stopping, and it's getting worse. This is very concerning for us and our audience. I know.
Yeah.
That's why we're here every night covering this.
Well, now, usually, folks, we just have a show on Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays, but we've been going nonstop since last Friday. So this is our 8th day in a row running the show, finding content, and there's more than enough content to go ahead and cover because it's not coming to an end. It's not like we had the 3 days of the UFOs getting seen and shot down over Dead Horse, Alaska. Then the next one was over the Yukon, which they supposedly shot down. And the third one came down over Maelstrom Air Force Base. Isn't that where we go ahead and have nuclear weapons, Mike?
It is. That's where our Minuteman III ICBMs are.
Uh-oh.
And what's over there. And we also had Bob Salas on the show, who was the one of the controllers of that base when it was turned off, the missiles in 1967 in Maelstrom. So, yeah.
Just like, all of a sudden, Mike, out of nowhere, I lost my connection as we were talking there for a second. We were gone for a couple seconds, and it popped right back.
That's odd.
We must be saying the right things.
Well, we're hitting all of the right points about what's going on and how the government has been trying to cover all of this up, including what we're covering now with these drones. They're not admitting anything, and they're telling us there's no threat, nothing to see. And what did Kirby say? They're manned? Oh, no, they're not.
No.
They're not manned aircraft. No way.
It's got to be really small. Oh, well, it could be gray aliens for that matter, because they are really short.
Oh, what was that? Follow the yellow brick road?
Yeah.
Soon.
I've got that one, my friend. Sooner than you think. Now, to get to it, we haven't heard anything from Homeland Security yet, have we?
Not a damn thing.
Oh, but wait, I've got one ready for you here, Mike. Yes, we've got Mr. Mayorkas here with Wolf Blitzer, two of our most favorite people in the world. We have a good sense of humor, friends. Yes, I am getting a bit tired of doing this not really tired. My body is just not as young as it used to be and beautiful and healthy. But either way, we're having a fun. Oh, we lost one. Come on back. We'd love to have you come back, my friend. Let's go ahead and get this next video clip here. Let's play it coming to our friends at CNN.
Wolf, thank you for having me. Let me calm those nerves. We have not seen anything unusual. We have not seen any unusual activity. We know of no threat. We know of no nefarious activity. I want to repeat that.
Okay, wait. We have a better quote from. Where did that go? Here we go. Here, wait, hold on. Here we go.
We ain't found shit.
There we go.
We have not seen anything unusual. We know of no threat or of any nefarious activity. And let me explain. People are reporting sightings of drones. It is very common for individuals who think they see drones to actually see small aircraft, and we have a case of mistaken identity. Also, we have 6 different people reporting what they think is a drone, and all of a sudden we have reports of 6 drone sightings. So there's some duplication. I have been in touch with...
What about the police officer who saw 50 of these coming off the ocean? Come on.
Governor Murphy every day. Our experts have been in touch with the New Jersey State Police every day. What we have done is we have deployed our state-of-the-art technology. We've deployed our experts to New Jersey.
They haven't, Mike, this is the first time they said they've actually deployed their state-of-the-art technology to freaking New Jersey, because they've been saying, the White House, John Kirby is saying, is we're looking at all the videos and photos we're getting from the citizens.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're lying, and they're getting caught lying, obviously.
One hand isn't lining up with the other. Here we go.
Technology has not confirmed any drone sightings. In addition, it has confirmed that some reported drone sightings are in fact small aircraft. Pilots have not reported seeing drones. That's not to say that there aren't drones, flying in the air, but we have no concern at this point with respect to a threat or any nefarious activity. The reality is you can have a 15-year-old kid who buys a drone off the shelf and puts it up in the sky. We have not seen drones turn their lights off in the dark. We have not seen drones penetrate restricted airspace. Those are 2 indicia that would give us a cause for concern. Wolf, I want to let the American people know right now that if we learn of any cause for concern, I will be back in this seat and explain to the American public why.
Someone in the audience pointed this out. They haven't blamed it on Venus yet. Or swamp gas.
Yeah, no, listen, he's completely full of shit, and it's insulting to listen to him speak. There has been no military incursions. What the hell do you call Langley Air Force Base?
Yeah, but
what do you call McGuire? Naval Weapons Station Earl.
Yes, he's a clown, but let's go ahead and let this clown sink himself. That's what I love to do. So let's listen to him a little bit more.
Only within the past few minutes, and I don't even know if you know this, Mr. Secretary, the President-elect Donald Trump, he just called on the Biden administration for you guys to either release any information it has about these mysterious drone sightings or shoot the drones out of the sky. How do you respond to the President-elect?
Well, first of all, the statements I've made already are the principal message that I want to communicate to the American public. We haven't seen anything unusual.
Oh, just like he always says the border was secure, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, we're overrun.
Yeah,
right.
By drones. Yeah,
exactly. Well, we're overrun by something, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But so it's no shock or surprise why the current administration didn't get reelected now, is it?
No.
This is proof. Look at this.
Yeah. Well, let's listen. Let's just bear it a little bit more. It's great comedy, I say.
Yep. Okay.
We know of no threat. Secondly, we have gone to Congress repeatedly asking for more authority to counter drone activity. And we have also asked for more authority to give to the state and local officials under our supervision, because it correctly notes those authorities need to be expanded.
I want to play something another New Jersey congressman, Republican Jeff Van Drew, said about the drones over his state in New Jersey. Listen to this.
We're not being told the truth. They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening?
What do you say to the congressman?
Well, that's common sense, but that's not what he's going to say. Let's hear what he says.
First of all, we have experts, and he should not diminish the extent of their expertise and the extent of their dedication to the well-being of the American people. These are individuals who dedicate their careers to the safety and security of the United States of America, number one. Number two, it's not as though anyone can just take down a drone in the sky. That in and of itself would be dangerous.
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. That is precisely why we have gone to Congress to expand those authorities. Our authorities are limited by the United States Coast Guard in the maritime environment, the United States Secret Service in its protection of our national leaders, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection with respect to the border. We have various authorities that are discrete to the particular missions. We can't just shoot a drone out of the sky.
But do you know for sure these are drones or unmanned aircraft? What are they?
We believe that there are cases of mistaken identity where drones are actually small aircraft and people are misidentifying them. There very well may be drones in the sky, of course, but those are commercially available. One can go into a convenience store and buy a small drone. There are also
Wait a minute. These drones are like the size of an SUV, and he's saying you can go to a convenience store and buy them.
Right with a gallon of milk, you can pick up one of these drones. Yeah, it's laughable. This is insulting to listen to him talk. It really is.
Absolutely. I think our audience has enjoyed the clown show from this one. Yes, insult after insult. But, the reason I got this video, not just because it was CNN Wolf Blitzer, we really wanted to hear from Wolf. It's been such a long time. I wanted to hear from Mr. Mayorkas to see how he went and tried to add to this cover-up. Mr. Security himself, if we could, we got some people with their hands up here. Freezerman 71.
Thomas, the only word to describe these officials is incompetent. And as far as these drones, I think Rick was right. It could be a mixture of NHI and, possibly those alien reproduction vehicles. But when we had the video of all the drones coming in from the ocean, what is the possibility, if NHI are involved, that they're coming from an underwater base like they think is off the coast of California?
There's always a possibility until we want to go ahead and figure out what it is. It could be the aliens, and we could have our own military putting additional, if you want to call it, drones out there to try and distract everybody from seeing what they want to see. So thank you very much for that point, Freezer Man. Corporal Abe, go ahead.
Yeah, what a great show. So much information tonight. Thomas and Mike, so much. I agree with what you guys said tonight. Just
Thank you, Wade.
Points. Yep, about Naval Weapons Station Earl. That's a significantly sensitive site, and they've been receiving incursions for the past few days, I think, and this is the third incursion that Mike has told us all about. If it's happening right now, this is the third time that it's happening. So that's pretty significant. And for that gentleman, that secretary, to come on live television and say that, I don't know what's a greater threat, the current administration just acting like there's nothing happening or what's actually happening. It's kind of weird. It's like a bad science fiction.
Well, they're doing a good job of making everybody afraid, Abe, because they're trying to say there's nothing there, and people go outside of their homes every night and see the stuff that it's there.
Fear is the mind killer.
Mr. Joey B in the front chat is saying he lives near Earl and he can see them flying around right now.
That's insanity. Joey B, can you take some videos for us, brother? Because that's insanity. That's a national security threat. And for that guy to say that there is no threat, you have video. If you get some video, we've got evidence. But either way, this is insane to me. It's Independence Day.
Let me ask you this: Earl has a 2.1 mile pier that goes into the water. You mean to tell me that over the water, that military base can't take one of these drones down? They could if they wanted to, right?
They should be able to. If they cannot, they should be able to call someone close by. There should be. I checked the ship tracker, and there is naval assets in that area. You know, they should be able to. The Navy's everywhere, basically. So.
Right. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah,
Rick?
they should be able to figure out what's going on. Now, I have a video that's coming in from one of our members who had sent it to us earlier today, Kay Doherty. I've got the first video up here. I can go ahead and share this. Again, we've got some beautiful Christmas lights going on in the neighborhoods around where he lives. And we've got, you know, kind of what we've been seeing all along is we've got drones going on. Let me go ahead and try and bring this up here. I'll try. Okay, so we've got the Christmas lights going, and then off in the skies, we can see that we've actually got, oh, let's see. It's hard to everybody to see. Let's see if I can zoom this up a little bit. We've got potentially 1, 2, 3 drones in view as I go ahead and go forward on this. So yeah, there's a bunch of things in the sky where he lives. It's interesting. Let's see if I can get the next video up here. Third part was falling. Let me go ahead and couldn't preview. Just download it, please. No, I want you to download it. There we go. Get to the next video. 1, 3, 4, 1, 5, 3, 4, 6. It was sent twice. You sent me this. Oh no, actually, it's called the same thing. Here, let's go ahead and go to this next video. All right, and in the next video I've got here, he's shooting higher up in the sky. Let's see if I can get this around. We've got one object here, another couple objects near the bottom. Let me go to this video and go ahead and play it. Oh, there he goes. He's zooming in on one object that's farther off in the distance. So, yeah, there's definitely drones going on in the areas. So, yeah, it's an interesting, it's an evolving situation that it's like the Energizer Bunny, Mike. It doesn't stop.
No, and it seems to be increasing. Every day that we've been covering this, the numbers are going up. Mm-hmm. The activity is increasing. No, it's not slowing down. It's getting worse. This is a real problem. And no wonder the public is scared. They have good reason to be. We don't know what these things are or what the hell they're even doing here.
Oh, I know.
That's the problem.
I've got one more video here. Let's see if I can get this one to come down. This is video number 3 that just came, image 0. Let me go ahead and open this one. And this is the first video again that we saw. But this one here does look like he says that it's kind of falling. Let me bring this one back up again, just trying to share what our audience is bringing forward. Go to document 3. Here we go. And you can see we've got those 3 going on. But in this clip, you can see that the one object that's at this location is going to start it's going to start descending down, moving in a downward fashion. So whatever it is, you can see it's going up high, is starting off higher up, but as it's moving along, it's probably not just going farther away, but it's clearly going further down. So yeah, they're all over the place, Mike.
Yeah, and it's over someone's residential home with their family. Yeah. It would scare the hell out of anybody.
Yeah.
And that schmuck you just had on was saying there's no threat? Really?
Yeah. Well, he is a schmuck for that matter, and not believable at all. Again, come on, this is the guy who's been saying there's nothing going wrong at the southern border. Let's just move on, get away from that one. That's a loaded thing to talk about, my friends. Let's see, how do I do this? Mikhail.
He's been waiting patiently, yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we hear you, Mikhail.
Great. I just wanted to add that the drones that have been spotted in Germany, they have been spotted over the U.S. airbase.
Oh, really?
Called Ramstein. Yeah, it's called Ramstein.
Okay, wow.
Ramstein. Rick was there. Wow, that's...
Yes, I was, yeah. I was at Ramstein, and yeah, that's central Germany near Kaiserslautern. Yes, I sure was.
Awesome.
So now we have drones over Ramstein. What the hell is going on, Rick? What do you think this is all about? What's over at Ramstein? Do they have any nuclear weapons there?
Obviously, I have no idea, but indicates that it has something to do with the U.S. rather than something extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're not there for the knockwurst, I don't think. Maybe the beer. Hey, good German knockwurst. I can't turn that down anytime.
Oh, no.
Some good sauerbraten.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rick enjoyed it when he was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love German food.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Ramstein has the 86 fighter wing, and they have a nuclear weapon storage area on the east side of the base. So there are nuclear weapons there. And they have a storage area on the east side.
So having these objects over a nuclear weapons site is not considered to be national security? Makes no sense to me that the government's making claims like that. What do you think, Rick?
Oh, I think it is jeopardizing national security, and I agree that we need to shoot one down to look at it to see what it is. If it's an alien research or reverse engineered vehicle, or if it's a some other advanced vehicle. Now in Germany, it could very well be a Russian. I mean, the Russians could easily penetrate the airspace if they fly low enough.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We don't have the radar systems there that we did during the Cold War, and so I think that maybe something could wander from Russia, which is the border. Russia's not that far away, into Germany.
Yeah. You know what we need to do, Rick? We need to come up on him in a helicopter and get out the net and catch him like a schmetterling. For those who don't know what a schmetterling is, it's a butterfly.
Butterfly.
That's one of the things I remembered. All right, let's go ahead and see who else has their hands up. Sharky Marky, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the show, guys. It's been awesome. I just wanted to tell you, I'm reading this article from Daily Mail. It seems like semi-breaking news that satellite images spy Iranian mothership linked to mysterious drones flying over New Jersey. I just thought this was interesting. I wanted to read this to you just a little bit.
No, we covered this the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We did.
Oh, okay. It seems like it's being reported tonight, too, again, and that Van Drew, who had reported that Iran was, obviously empty of ships around, taking 18 days off the November 12th.
Yeah.
But Van Drew supposedly had doubled down on his claims Thursday. I don't know if that was reported or was said, but
we had clips of him pushing back after the Pentagon, John Kirby at the White House pushed back. So yeah, it's been a back and forth catfight going on.
Do you guys think there's any linkage between what's going on over at Taiwan with China and their war games with possibly?
You brought that up. I think it was like Monday or so they had where they brought out 80 or it was last weekend, they brought out 80 or 90 warships and they had them down by the Taiwan Strait and actually going down up to the northern Faroe Islands. Is it the ones that are from Japan?
Yeah, but could the United States be analyzing this and letting it go because they know it's Chinese technology, new technology they don't have? So perhaps, Iran, it's in Iran's hands. And
possibly. The only way they're going to figure out is to try and shoot it down, which seems that they're just paralyzed on doing this.
They refuse.
And one other thing, don't you find it really strange that we haven't found anything about the man? Well, whatever went down last night. How come we haven't found out any information? Nothing's leaked.
Some people, in recent reports from one publication saying they couldn't find anything. But the truth of the matter is, if the government's involved, even if they did find something, I don't think they'd tell us. Just saying.
They'd cover it up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Thanks,
right.
guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it so much.
And speaking of which, We still have almost 4,000 members in the audience, and please like and subscribe.
So we got
if you're enjoying the coverage, right, Thomas?
Yep, absolutely, Mike, absolutely. Now, God, a bunch of people with their hands up in the back. One more person, and then I've got one last video clip for the night, Mike, friends. Mike,
Okay.
actually, Justin M, go ahead. 3,
2,
1. Greg O'Brien, take it.
Go ahead, Greg. Your mute button's on.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm a little bit slow. So I've been looking at the reports over the last few days, and from what I gathered is they're coming in from the sea overland.
Right.
They're not picked up on radar.
Right. No heat signature.
No heat signature. Reports of drones coming out of the sea, which leads me to believe, could they be launching from subs? Because if they were launching from aircraft carriers are a little bit harder to find.
Well, it doesn't even have to be an aircraft carrier, because these are drones. This could be going from a cargo ship, Greg.
Right. Oh, disguised as a disguised as something. Okay,
they don't have. I mean, if it's a drone, they can take straight off and go off to their way. They don't need a long tarmac to go ahead and get up to speed before they launch at the end of the runway.
What about the reports of them coming out of the sea then?
There have not been any reports of them coming out of the sea. They're coming from the direction of the ocean, but they're not actually being seen coming out of the water.
Oh, I saw a video the other day of I guess it was just amateur footage of something coming out of the sea, and it was again reported as one of these drones. So
yeah.
Fair enough. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, on our last clip we've got here, we've got, or I've actually got 10 more or 12 more we haven't shown yet. But this is an interesting one. This came from Fox 5 earlier today. There was a press conference, and a lot of pissed off governors, actually not the governors, mayors and state representatives venting their disgust for what the government isn't doing about this. Let's bring up this next clip and have some fun, folks. Uh-oh. His voice will be right there.
And yet we're told, don't believe what you see. It's shocking to us that here we are almost a month later, 3,000 sightings, drones, manned aircraft, and our folks don't have an answer. We're calling upon not just the New York City Police Department, but others to get involved, get aggressive, figure out what these things are, and help at least alleviate some of the frustration, anxiety that many people share. This is 2024. They're either lying, or they're incompetent, or they're both. How can we, the United States of America, have this going on, and we're told just look the other way, ignore it, it's no big deal? We know for a fact that there may be some who are, performing some type of surveillance. Well, let's be honest with the American people and treat them like adults and tell them what it is. Yet here we are, standing, because we know recently there were reports over this asset, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Here we are in Fort Wadsworth, one of the oldest military installations in the country. There was, we believe, a drone flying above the bridge. We also know on the other side of the island there was a drone flying over New York Container Port in the Goethals Bridge. And we're supposed to just let it be? Come on, folks, step up to the plate and be honest and truthful with the American people, the people of Staten Island, and solve this problem once and for all. We're in this together. I know we have many folks around this region who are weighing in now. It's about time. We started a couple of weeks ago asking that, along with the Congresswoman, to include at least Staten Island in any investigation that's going on at the FAA and the FBI. This is not to take away from them. They didn't start this problem, but they have an obligation to let us know what the heck is going on. As I said, we're all in this together, and representing us in D.C. and Congress is our Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis.
20 years ago, they filmed War of the Worlds on Staten Island. And now, we feel like we're characters in that movie. What is happening is outrageous. Thousands of drones and unmanned aerial systems flying above us, and our government is not telling us who's operating them and for what purpose. I don't believe that the United States of America, with its military capabilities, does not know what these objects are. And what I'm asking, and what we're all asking, is for you to be straight with us and just tell us what is going on. As Vito says, this is creating havoc. People are confused, they're concerned, they have anxiety, they don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of theories that are out there. And the best way to address this is to just be honest and tell the American people what is going on. These are not recreational drones. These are not, I don't believe, commercial drones, because if they are violating existing rules and regulations, which say that they need to be under 400 feet and they can't be operating in the middle of the night after between sunset and sunrise. So that leaves two options. It's our government, or there's a foreign nexus. And so either our government is doing some type of surveillance activity or surveying, or what really would concern, I think, everyone, there's a foreign government that is doing this type of activity and surveillance. And they're doing it above sensitive infrastructure, Elizondo Bridge, this U.S. Coast Guard base, the Army installation across the water, power plants, ports. And so, again, just be straight with us, tell us what it is, and let's address it the best possible way so we can calm everyone down and make sure that these don't pose a threat to our national security and public safety. Because even if it is not nefarious, the fact that these things are flying all over is a public safety issue. There can be an accident. There could be an explosion. There could be a crash. This is a very densely populated area. And going back to the FAA restrictions, you cannot be flying these things above and around buildings if it's commercial or recreational. So something's not right here, and we need our government to give us answers and also put in place restrictions so that this does not continue, and enforce the existing regulations and restrictions. And that means our government needs to follow those rules as well. Thank you.
There you go. That's one heck of a conversation. Your thoughts, Mike? Great to hear some people from New York pissed off.
Oh, absolutely. That's a pretty common thing, though. No, she's absolutely right about everything that she said. You know what stuck with me? I don't understand that schmuck, Mayorkas. Did he actually say that the White House doesn't have the authority to deal with these drones? That's why they're reaching out to the legislative branch, Congress? Are they really that confused in the executive branch in the White House that they don't know what authority they have? Of course they can deal with this if they wanted to. Don't you think, Thomas?
Yeah, well, of course, but it seems like they'd rather make excuses for what it isn't versus actually trying to really try and find out what it is. Now, granted, we do have a lot of troops deployed all over the world, but the truth of the matter is, this is a new video, by the way. This was taken down at the beach in, where is that at? Let me find out where this is at. This was at, Massaquan Point, the place where all the UFOs were coming up last night. We had one of our members from the show go out to the same location that all of the, why isn't this opening? Come on, get to it. Open. There it is. Going out to the beach in the same place where they had that fleet coming in last night. Yeah, they went out there. Granted, the fleet didn't show up, but what did show up was definitely, we've got some drones off in the distance. They did show up in smaller numbers this time. You can see as he zooms out here for a second, there's a Massaquan Point where they've got a lot of restaurants and stuff going on. And it was over these areas last night where there were like 10 or 15 of these sighted going across. So I granted, it's not the best video. There are other videos that we're going to be having from mics, not this mic, but our other mics, psionics that you recorded, so we can try and see and bring out some additional information to go ahead and share this with everybody. Because a lot of the videos that are new that are coming out, we're seeing the same kind of a thing. You know, one of the videos I played earlier on in the podcast was probably one of the best ones we had going here tonight. Yeah, Mike, it's just it's a shit show right now. That's the best way I could call it. Now, to go ahead, we're going into overtime here right now. A couple people with their hands up before we go ahead and bring this to a close. Nick, go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Kay Doherty, you're next.
Yeah, mute button is on, Kay. She may have stepped away because
Braden
she's been
Miller,
waiting for a while.
If you're still there.
Moving on.
Brandon England, are you there?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I'm here, Mike and Thomas. I have never seen. G'day, Mike. I've never seen such a breakdown in communication between the administration or government and the people. It's just complete disrespect. And if you want to go down the line of Russia or China, it's a fucking act of war. It's as simple as that. So, what say you, Thomas or Mike? Right.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. If it is China or Russia or Iran going ahead and doing this, yeah, we're at a point of war because they've been invading this country
bases.
going on for well over 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks at this point.
Well, what would you prefer out of those options?
Shoot them down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Would you prefer China or NHI?
It's not NHI. We've established that.
Wow. How so, Mike? Would you prefer China or NHI?
If it was NHI, Brendan, we've established that.
I got it. Hold on, I've got to mute him.
It would be exhibiting phenomenal types of characteristics that defy our known physics. They would have the 5 observables. These things are creating sound. These things are not moving at astronomical speeds. These things are man-made wherever they're coming from and whoever's behind it, but it's not a part of the phenomenon.
Advanced technology, yes. Non-human type craft, that's not what we're seeing here. Not even close.
Why not open fire then, Thomas?
Unless it's our own drones coming in, like Rick had said at the start of the show, going ahead and looking and sniffing for nuclear material for a dirty bomb.
Okay, thanks, guys. I'll let someone else have it.
Absolutely. Justin M., go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Boho Dreams. He's still there.
There
Can you hear me?
We got you.
Boho.
Hey guys, so I am in Pennsylvania. I'm having a pretty wild night. I'm about 15 miles away from Gap Military Base, so Fort Indiantown Gap. Looking out my window right now, I can see tons of these things going over the mountain. About 20 minutes ago, I saw a fleet of at least 8 of them at one time.
Wow. Is this the first time you've seen them in the evenings, or have you been seeing them in the past as well?
I seen something back in November driving by the base. This was during the day. They were hovering crafts. I saw 5. Tonight is the first time I am seeing these drone-like vehicles.
Interesting.
Can I just cut in? I was stationed at Fort Indiantown Gap, also at Dix, and that's a major threat. And there's also somebody in the chat named Luminosity saying the same thing. Oh, okay, Boho. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was 2 different names. And then Jeff Wilson, I believe, is also saying down in DC, there's on Fox 5, I believe, reports of them over the nation's capital. But yeah,
and
Boho,
I don't know.
that's a big problem.
What's interesting is majority of them are moving south. I don't know what that means, but that's going towards Gap Military Base.
Yeah, it's an issue. It's a big issue.
Major. I just wanted to tell you guys, let you guys know.
Yeah, thank you for finding the show, and thank you for subscribing and coming in the back and giving us an update.
Yeah, thanks for everything you guys do. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Andy W., you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, going on about like catching these things on film. You know, we all know that mobile phones don't exactly have very good night vision. Now, I don't have one handy. I'm going to try and put it up. You can pick up these. They're very light night vision binoculars from Temu in different places. Dirt cheap. I picked these up, 50 quid, less than 50 English pounds. So it's going to be about $50. These have color night vision and infrared night vision. Go out and try and find yourself some of these guys. They're super lightweight. They record on a micro SD card. Do you better, and the height that a lot of these craft are flying at, you'll catch these.
Yeah.
So yeah, go out and find some of them for yourselves.
Absolutely, Andy. Thank you for letting us know about that. Laura Campbell, you have your hand up, my dear lady.
Yes, the only problem I have with it being our government looking for something is that I would think that they'd be more covert about it. And they're spending an awful lot of time over our own military bases. So that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Also, I would say for people, if I were living in the area and on the chance that there was a problem like nukes or something or radiation, or it's easy to get an inexpensive radiation detector that you could just use and kind of check out if enough people did it. Maybe they would show something in a certain area. Just something I.
Could they be going ahead and going over the military bases as a distraction technique, so to make us think that what's going on is not part of, military based or U.S. government based?
That's an awful lot of extra. The fact that they're going in other countries as well doing that.
Yeah.
It's just, if I'd want my government to, if there was something they didn't want to scare the public, they wouldn't be flashing the lights around. This is not the case. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're 50 plus out a night. That's a sizable fleet of craft that they're dispersing over a relatively, larger geography, but it's a condensed area.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
Thank you. And last person for the night, Nick, go ahead.
Yes. Did you see that Eric Davis video in which he said that the U.S. government can't create ARV?
Hold on, let me get this taken care of. I keep on muting Carl, but do it one more time. Go ahead. I fixed it. One more time, Nick. I'm sorry. Which video?
Like the new Eric Davis interview in which he said that create ARV.
Hold on.
It was that truck
that from the call. There we go. Done. I kept on muting them. They kept on unmuting them, so we kept on hearing them. The guy talking to his wife. So.
Did you see that a video of this? I do like Eric Davis interview, in which he said the U.S. government can't create ARVs. Did you see that video, Thomas?
Yeah, that completely different subject. I'm not surprised. Yes, that was the one with Eric Weinstein saying we don't have the ability to create alien reproduction vehicles. I go ahead and I align with that statement. We've heard many times in the past that our humanity lacks the ability to reverse engineer these craft. We've been trying since 75 plus years, and we haven't really gotten too far on it. So in that particular respect, I put my trust in Eric Weinstein over Dr. Stephen Greer.
It's from Eric Davis.
Yes, I'm sorry, Eric Davis, not Weinstein. I'm sorry, Eric Davis. Yes, and I will put my thoughts in his bucket. It's been a long day.
As do I. And Thomas and I both said this publicly.
Yeah, as do I too. Working with Dr. Putoff and with Eric there at the lab for the many years I was there, the technology of these extraterrestrial crafts are so advanced that we just can't understand them. And most of them we can't understand, so therefore we couldn't replicate it.
Yeah. And absolutely, thank you for asking that. Yeah, there's a bunch of UFO news that's been going on, but with everything that's been going on with drones and the interest on it, we're trying to keep up to play on this, especially if what we were talking about, Rick, with regards to there being a potential nuclear threat on our East Coast. That just sounds nasty. It really does.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. It really does, and I have to. I'm sure everybody else would be very concerned with that emergency order that was put out by the New Jersey Department of Homeland Security, and then the fact that now we have a nuclear disablement team at McGuire Air Force Base. These guys, I know who they are. I mean, I know what they do. They're the best of the best explosive ordnance disposal, and they can disarm anything. So that really concerns me that they were deployed there in the New Jersey area.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate your time tonight. Know if I can, I want to go ahead and it's that music. You probably didn't hear me playing earlier today, but it's that time of the night to go ahead and thank everyone for your wonderful support and super chats from Disclosure tonight. Going ahead and covering these. Let me get back to my desk. Here we go. I want to thank Lord McCormick. Actually, let's go to the top. Lord McCormick started the super chats tonight, followed by let's go to the bottom of the top. It may work better. Donna Fitzpatrick, thank you very much. Donna, Ed, Faze Will, Mandy Leanne, Phantomos, Donna Fitzpatrick again, Jake Knott from State Farm, Matthias, AJ once, not AJ twice. There we go. Brian Pemble. I want to thank Ed. I want to thank MAGA R Degenerates. Donna Fitzpatrick, thank you very much. Freezerman71, Ed, Anonymous Rex, Frank, Rick Doty, and Lord McCormick. Wow, what a bunch of great love and support for Disclosure tonight. How did they get so big? OBS, what are you doing to me? All right, thank you very much, everybody, for this. But more importantly, I want to thank all the people in our chat. This is where I go ahead and kill myself. And thank everybody. I got 26 letters of too many letters of the alphabet, whatever it is, too many to 52 to get through. Let's thank Don Mofo, Aburaxa, Alex Lewis, Andy W. Thanks for being in the chat tonight, because the chat is where it's at. Remember, if you haven't given us a subscribe yet, what are you waiting for? Please hit that subscribe. If you haven't given us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, now is your chance to do it, as I kill myself going through all these names. Alex Lewis, Andy W., Anne Marie, Anton Ghost, BB Wolf, Ben Craddock, Bolt's here, along with Bradley, Brian Pemble, Brains, Bush Light. Carl's here along with Carrie, Chris, Crazy, Crossroads, Info. Damon Plaza here along with Darren Richards, David Steele, Deanna Colloway. We've got Delta Echo, Dennis Benke, Digger Dog, Dirk Ridley. Don't click the channel is here along with DRVB, Ed, Eli McGinnis, Evan B, Fairy Girl, Firefly, Frosty, Fry Guy. We've got Glenn Welsh, Great Awakening, Green Tea with Lemon, Greg O'Brien, Heinze 57. Let's go ahead and thank the best ketchup ever. Let's find Holsey 815, Howling Husky. I've got one of those around here somewhere. There she is. Who else we have? We got Heiser Soze, Ian Watts Official. We got Izzy Snoozin, JB Ninja, Jaxie, JCat, Jeff Manji, Jeff Willis 80, John Curcio, Justin M, Kathy, Kelly Brotnels, Piercing Blue Eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. We got King Bull, Chris Leeds, Lit Clicker, Ludo's Dads. You get me every time with that one. Lynn 60, Mary, Megan Beats. Oh, where to go? Merle Hemlock. There we go. Mia Luna. Mika's here along with Nancy, Nathan, Nowhere Fast, Patricia Hunter, Peggy with the South Florida Friends. We got Philip Shepard, PJ Larson, Rachel Osborne, Raul, Rich Buddy, Rick Doty, Rick Webb. We got Robert Coford, Roland Gibbs, Roland's again. Keep it rolling, my friend. We got Ronald. Where's Mr. McDonald? Not here. Rough Reddy. Russell Clement is around. Let's go ahead and thank Sam. See you. Shermanator Osborne. Six Sun Songwriter. Sprightly Sprites, Gemstones, Crystal Mineral Magic is still here. There you go, every night this week. Steve Leap, Steve Pro, Stevie Cakes. You were first in the chat today. We also have Tiara U, Taka Ferlat, the Lost RVers. I like that. The Lost RVers. How about that? This Breaks, Tony Apspoo, from the Ancient World Reimagined. Sounds like a cool channel, my friend. Troy's here along with Two Heads 666. We had Vanek, V, Vic Vancouver, Volga, Wanda Wonder Twin, Yankee 58, and Zig Corvetti. I got through all the names. How about that? But it's not just sometimes about the people in the chat or the people who gave us super chats. Sometimes it's about our friends in the back who have been back there asking a bunch of great questions and keeping me on my toes. Let me go ahead and thank Andy W. Thank you for being here, Andy.
Cheers, Thomas. I'm just going to take 1 second to remind everybody of tomorrow night's show. It's a UK-Europe friendly time. It's 10 p.m. GMT. It's what is it?
2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Which we may or may not.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it absolutely. Thank you very much, Andy. I appreciate that. Also want to thank Brendan England. Thanks for your question tonight, my friend.
Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Mike. Cheers.
Absolutely. Let's go to Freezerman 71. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Thomas. Oh.
Corporal Abe, thanks for coming out.
Hey, Thomas, Mike, Disclosure of Night community. What a great show. Thank you. Happy holidays. Can't wait for the next one. I love you all. Good night.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Let's also thank Greg O'Brien. Thanks for your question tonight, Greg.
Absolutely, Thomas, and thank you and thank Mike for all you guys do and all your digging, man. Love it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Also want to thank Laura Campbell. Thanks for coming out.
You're welcome. It's always interesting on this show. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot to even mention that. Happy Friday the 13th. It's my lucky number, actually. So 13 is always a good number. All right.
No
also,
drones for you.
Thank you very much. Also want to thank None of Your Business. Appreciate you coming here, Susan.
Wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it.
Faze Will, thank you for your question today.
Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Not a problem. Rick Roberts, thanks for keeping the questions going.
Great show. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Sharky Marky, thanks for the question tonight.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, appreciate you keeping it pouring with good questions, my friend.
Yeah, good show, Thomas.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Let's go then. That's everybody's who's asked questions, who's in the back now. If I missed you, sorry about that. Also want to thank Rick Doty. Thanks for coming out tonight, Rick.
It's my pleasure to be here, Thomas. Great show. Fantastic show. Great questions and great videos. And not only is it Friday the 13th, it's also a full moon tonight.
Ooh. It's a double doozy today. And not just that, it's also Fuck You Friday.
Oh, yeah.
All day long. All right. It is my pleasure having you here tonight. Thank you for coming out.
Always, Thomas. This is why we're here, for our audience to see what's going on, and we cover it for them to the best of our ability. Thank you for the excellent job you did tonight on the show for everybody.
You know, I am running back and forth. I'm getting videos, getting them staged, bringing them back up, showing the next one, bringing it back and forth. Only made a couple small mistakes. Not too bad tonight. But, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. It's a lot. When I get done with this show, I am done. Stick a fork in me. There we go. I got the fork. Stick it in me. I'm done. And as we usually say at the end of every episode or disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everyone. But
go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow, everybody. I'll come back now here. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.